It's all good.
Yeah.
Okay, good. I don't have to give 10. I don't have to give 10 subs. I'm really glad they didn't hear that and just like pick a different character. I would have been like, you guys can pay for it, right, guys?
Town and City game 1. Honestly, I mean, very interesting.
I think PS2 is probably a good stage for both these guys. I imagine neither of them wants to let the other one go to it, something like that. Rob really likes PS2, I know. Anathema, one of the homies, is always talking about how much he loves PS2.
I have to imagine this was Big Boss's selection.
Really?
Just having more options to kill off the side as Rob as opposed to Snake, I think
Oh,
is
yeah.
reason enough to pick a tall, skinny stadium like this one.
Yeah, and MVD is so good at like keeping control of the platform, so having the platform layout change constantly makes it harder for him to hold control. So that's a pretty reasonable take, and I think we're going to see a lot of explosions this set as MVD takes the first stock with a dash attack, and no up air follow-up just yet for MKBigBoss, as he's going to take a couple more hits from these grenades, from these C4s, and you're kind of in between a rock and a hard place now, as Snake just kind of gets to sit at the ledge, throw grenades, and it's frustrating to play against.
There's something so goofy about watching Rob deal with these projectiles using either gyro or grabbing them himself. It just looks so funny because MVD isn't doing anything but staying on the side of the screen and tossing stuff.
That was, the up air did not quite kill for MVD. Snake is a pretty heavy character. Oh, that was almost sick. I would have low-key popped off for that follow-up, but nice. That was great. He saw the C4 come out. He thought it was going to explode, and he punched with the down smash. That was just great reaction from MKBigBoss.
He hit it early enough that it would have caught pretty much anything coming to the ground, either the air dodge landing lag or just normal fall, but it wound up catching out an actual end lag for a move, and either way, it was a great choice, covering a lot of options.
The laser coming out to punish the roll gave so much momentum to Big Boss. He got to get so much off of that, but now MVD once again just gets to throw his grenades, and he's gonna do so much damage with this Nikita. Nikita is so scary.
And here's an interesting interaction too. Oh, okay, great Nikita to take it. Interesting interaction is that Rob, has a lot of fire damage moves, just naturally, like nair, back air, down air, things like that. All of those things will pop grenade and Nikita, regardless of whether or not it hits you. And so the question is Rob's hurt box big enough that it's going to hit you anyways, or can you space it to deal with some of these more annoying options like Nikita? Great back air.
Nicely done, and 53% is not a lot, but we know that Rob has the potential to just kill you with 0. If you manage to get I think it's, I don't remember what it's called, but a toss into a nair, into another toss, into a fair, or into a forward B, that will kill you.
But you have to be airtight because grenade is a frame 1 option that will break you out of jail.
That is true, and I think MVD is probably ready for that and is not going to put himself in a situation in which he will get glide tossed or full toss, and that F tilt is going to be enough to take it. Snake, so difficult to play around when you can have so much stage control with those projectiles. And Big Boss is, I'm honestly, shout out to Big Boss. How is he still smiling after having to run around grenades for an entire game?
Insane. But what's difficult, and we saw this with, I believe it was MVD versus Goblin just a little bit earlier. What's difficult is if you're behind either in a big percentage gap or by a stock against Snake, MVD's game plan becomes very simple. Grab grenade, drop grenade, hold grenade, pull grenade during combos. Anything to trade damage, and you're suddenly having to pick wildly different options to get yourself back into a position that is even close to even. And yes, like you mentioned, Rob does have those 0 to death combos that can even that up in a way that doesn't require you to do anything absolutely, disgusting to get around the options. But again, it has to be frame perfect. Otherwise, you're going to get jailbroken by grenade.
You almost got hit by the C4, but I think Big Boss was aware. Oh, just barely missed, and the rotor arm. Yeah. Nicely done from MVD. Good drift to avoid. I think MVD also expected a rotor arm to come out there, so he said, "All right, I'm not letting you touch that. I'm getting the hell out of here." Up air not going to connect as well as MVD throwing out the hitbox to keep Big Boss from trying to push his advantage any further. As now a bit of a tiny % lead. Up tilt not quite enough. Hall Bastion pretty high ceiling on this stage, so we're going to need to wait a little bit longer. But nice little chase down. No tech, or I think it was a tech roll away or something. I didn't quite see, and the down smash. Nice punish from Big Boss to get that first stock.
Yeah, I'm wondering if Town was banned or if Big Boss just decided that wasn't the option, that wasn't what he wanted to go for. Oh, what a
my
follow with the
God.
missile. I thought the back air had actually taken care of the Nikita, but it was just a little bit too low. And MVD really showing why he probably should be working for the CIA.
The tracking just unbelievable from MVD. He's been working on his aim, and you can tell that, once again, character mastery. I'm going to say it every single time because there's so many great mains at this tournament, and MVD is no less than any of the other ones. He is so clean, so proficient at using Snake's tools, and I want to point out what you said earlier, that MVD is so happy to trade damage, and you want to think that Snakes do not want to like take damage. Any character doesn't want to take damage, but MVD will run at you holding a grenade in hand and like basically suicide bomb you in order to get the damage on, and then because you can't punish it, and he knows how to follow up off of that explosion every single time. But that was a great catch from Big Boss.
It's a quick response, just seeing that the back air got thrown out, and you're like, well, you know, he's in end lag, and that was, I mean, again, fast.
I think
very fast.
That was a great reaction as well, and I think he kind of predicted that MVD would skip over the ledge, and it worked out very well. Big Boss now having a solid lead, even after that game one that was probably would have been frustrating for any player that doesn't have mental as good as Big Boss.
Yeah. Now MVD is on the back seat, right? You can't just trade damage anymore. You have to keep Big Boss in disadvantage.
Oh my
and find
God.
something like a Nikita. You have to keep your space, but you have to even up this percentage if you're MVD before you can start looking to trade even more.
The Nair catching out Big Boss, and it's going to do a good amount of damage, and already Snake's just damage output is ridiculous. It does, all of his normals do so much damage, all of his aerials do so much damage, his explosions, he can rack up damage like no other.
Yeah, this is great positioning from MVD. The gyro has been doing absolutely nothing for Big Boss.
The up tilt connected, but there was a grenade right there, so he just could not follow up. And great match from MVD, but I think Big Boss had to jump a little weird in order to avoid the grenade, and both up tilt and up smash whiffing for both characters. And now we're at a last hit situation just about. Rob is able to kill from this percentage, but Snake is able to kill even easier. If you land an up tilt, you are just dead.
Yeah, a 130 climbing.
The air dodge. He's living.
Went the different direction. I didn't anticipate that.
Oh my God, the back air to avoid, to boost himself up just a little bit. He's almost out of fuel, but he's going to make it back to the stage. And MVD not landing the C4. He does land the back air, though, as the hitbox extension of the up air connects with Snake's legs.
All right.
Nicely done.
Very solid game from MVD. Looking a little bit scary in that second and last stock situation, while Big Boss did have the advantage, but brought it back very nicely. Got a kill confirmed with the Nikita, evened up the damage with those normal aerials like you were talking about, dealing so much damage. And once you even that up, just trade a little bit of damage, till both of these guys were at, what, 140, 160%. And then you can either, A, do what MVD did this time, which is keep Big Boss off stage and force him to play around Nikita, or B, fish for grab, up tilt, slash normals, normal kill confirms like up tilt too.
I think playing against MVD has to be one of the most frustrating experiences possible, because despite playing Snake, he is not very explosive as a player. He's so persistent, he's so consistent, and he is always racking up damage against you. And he's perfected that playstyle to the point that if you aren't able to catch him out and push your advantage state to ridiculous points, he will continue to rack up damage. He always will continue to rack up damage, and he will confirm those kills in the most consistent ways possible. He's safe. He's very frustrating to play against, and he does not make mistakes like that.
Look, he's playing Snake like a trapper. I mean, the difference between MVD and Apollo Kage's playstyle, by the way, shout out to Apollo Kage, I think he's streaming this right now. The difference between their playstyles is so interesting. Apollo Kage plays a lot more around movement mechanics, reversing grenades, and keeping your opponent on the back foot in terms of what decision you're going to make, whereas MVD plays, let me drop grenades at ledge, let me keep you ledge trapping anywhere off stage that I can keep you, set up all of my projectiles, and force you to play around them. Great tech.
He is so good with Nikita, it's crazy. He knows exactly how slow it's going to be when it slows down, and then look at that turnaround up tilt to punish whatever Big Boss was going for, and that's such a strong lead now for MVD. Mash, up air, not going to be enough because the DI is there for MVD, and I'm sure he's played this matchup enough to know that. Oh my God, never mind.
That is going to take it.
That was great from Big Boss, and he's going to shut me up right away because he is an explosive player. He is someone who can take that momentum and ride with it so quickly. We've seen him get those 0 to deaths on stage even. We've seen him get those ridiculous kills at these super low percents off stage with the rotor arms, but it's going to take a lot more than just 1-0 to death to take this MVD set.
It's going to take a lot more than one advantage state to even take a
Oh
stock.
my god.
That's the biggest issue that MKBigBoss is seeing right here. How can you get advantage state enough and not get thrown out of it by, say, grenade, like in this situation? Air dodge back to stage, and suddenly it's back to neutral. How do you keep advantage state for long enough to actually force a kill?
Ooh, I like the wait on the mash to see what option MVD goes for, and now this up air is going to take another stock.
That was
went all the way
so
up.
clean. What incredible movement from Big Boss, keeping it ambiguous but still throwing out the up air. Just really solid. I love that. I haven't seen a raw move like that in the air.
Okay, the adaptation has sort of begun, I think, for Big Boss because he has taken very little damage over that second stock, and I think he's starting to become more and more aware of the explosives.
Toss into C4.
That are on the stage. That was... Well, I guess you can't really do it about that even if you are aware.
Yeah.
That's just going to happen.
This is exactly what we saw from game 2, though. MVD was down on the stock, figured out how to clear up that stock disadvantage, and then evened up the percentage just like he's doing right now.
A late hit back air allows for MVD to set up a ledge trap, and that has to be so frustrating to deal with when you have the grenade on the actual ledge and on the platform. You have so few options you can go through without getting hit by an explosion. And oh, nice little drag down up air to land into an up tilt as well, but still nothing big happening for Big Boss. We need to see an edge guard, or we need to see an up smash here.
Yep, there it is. That, I believe he called out the non-mash with the up smash, and that is just awareness, right? Every other time, MVD has been mashing out, and I think that he just did a straight soul read right there.
Yeah, that was gorgeous from Big Boss, and now it's sort of becoming a series. You know, the first 2 games, very consistent, very persistent from MVD, but now Big Boss starting to get that momentum, starting to find those openings, and starting to be able to capitalize on those openings as well. That's exactly what we want to see out of this player.
It's not even game 5.
I'm looking forward to this. Wii Fit Trainer.
Nah.
That's not happening.
It's cap.
It's definitely cap. MVD, I don't think he's ever switching off Snake. I don't think I've ever seen him play a different character, ever. I know he played something else in Smash 4 because Snake wasn't in Smash 4, but I don't remember what it was. He is just a Snake main.
I wish...
I can't see the game. Oh no. We're beginning with a bit of a start. A bit of it. I think it was a... That is how you typically begin. We're beginning with, I think that was a nair or something from MVD to rack up a little bit of percent, but Big Boss responding in turn with some damage of his own. It's now 2-1 in terms of games as both players trading bits of damage back and forth, and we have to wonder if Big Boss is going to continue to be able to avoid these grenades, if MVD is going to change the way he's throwing them, if he's going to change some of his placements, because like you said, he is playing it like a trapper. He's setting up so many frame traps, so many quote-unquote impossible situations for Big Boss, and wow. I'm
nice!
Oh,
beautiful!
My God.
Set the Nikita straight up.
I didn't see
L
it.
dropped it. Neutral, caught the neutral get up and said, I'm just going to tap you so that you are in full hit stun whenever the mortar, or whenever the Nikita, it wasn't even a mortar, which is even more funny, whenever the Nikita comes back down.
That was the fakest up smash of all time because it wasn't an up smash.
No.
That was really awesome. I got faked out too. I think Big Boss was ready for it. The quiet.
These guys are calling each other out. Did you download each other's ebooks? What is this? The reads are insane.
I think Big Boss, surprisingly, just completely unfazed by the Nikita. Completely. And he got that back air super nicely, but already 92% on the second stock. And I love the way he's using laser to try to interrupt the Nikita from MVD in order to keep him from getting those early kills. And Nikita is at kill percent right now. So this is a little scary, but Big Boss able to hold center stage, gets the up tilt, or doesn't get the up tilt as, wow, great follow-up as well. This advantage state now, up air. Good DI from MVD to get the WarioWare minigame win, but
great kill confirm. He didn't even need that kill confirm. I think Big Boss was just happy enough having evened up the damage by throwing out those quick normals, not letting MVD pull the grenades, and keeping the movement on the combo game high enough that he can't break out with grenades. But then he gets the up air to actually close out the stock, and suddenly he's up 51% and a stock.
Great use of the rotor to disrupt the projectiles as well. I think there was an up smash in the air, and it just got reflected, and now up tilt, up air is going to be a lot of damage.
Yeah,
not quite enough. As MVD has played the WarioWare minigame many a time, but...
went for that falling. He assumed, I don't know if he assumed that MVD didn't have a jump or that he wasn't going to use it, but went for the call out with the down smash and didn't quite get it.
There was a grenade in hand that kept Big Boss from taking that stock with the rotor arm, but 143 is nothing to scoff at, and if you get a bit of an edge guard, you are just dead if you're MVD here. He has to air dodge to the ledge, and Nice little nair, but
this is a percentage gap that I would say isn't going to be easily closed out by trading with grenades, but MVD showing that combo games can actually clear it up, and suddenly the gap isn't so big.
this is scary, a very, very scary situation for Big Boss on the ledge, as now MVD has begun to set every single trap in the book, and the up tilt is going to connect as MVD clutches it out at 160%, does not let Big